There really isn't too much to talk about today, so I'm just going to talk about my community college experience for the past 3 weeks. For the past 3 weeks, I have been going to school, community college. If you guys are wondering what I'm studying for accounting. I want to be an accountant, get my CPA license, and the reason why is because, well, it's stable, it's nice, you can make a good amount of money. I'm not saying you're make a crazy amount of money, but also with accounting and stuff like that, everyone's going to need accountants, right? So I could basically work at wherever I want to, whatever company I want to. Who knows? Maybe I could work for PlayStation or something, or I could work for YouTube. I don't even know. We'll see what my future holds. But I started college, or I started community college January, 14th, I think. That was my first day. And I'm 21 years old, by the way. I didn't start college straight out of high school because I didn't know what I wanted to do. And so I'm not going to spend all my money, right, going to school and trying to figure it out. So I decided to now come back since I kind of know what I want to do. And plus, I think accounting is just a great skill to have when it comes to personal life, dealing with finance, income statements, balance sheets. I think that's all very important. So that's why I also chose to study accounting. But for right now, my four classes are English, like the first year English, the first year math, the college algebra. My other two classes are like general business studies. That's what the class is called, and macroeconomics. My favorite class, I would say, out of all of them is probably my English class because of how easy it is for the most part. We're just talking about right now some types of introductions. I think it's pretty fun. And then math right now, I mean, it's just videos, right? It's just watching videos like how it was an online school. You basically watch videos, do the homework, and teacher does go over some lecture in class. What I actually like, man, I like in person way better than online. I don't know about you guys, but with in person, you can actually ask questions. You're present with a teacher, and I'm always that type of guy to volunteer in class. I'm never that type of guy just to just be quiet like everyone else. I always put my hand up, always volunteer, especially with college, right? Like I had to pay for this. Okay, now since I am the only child, my mom had to pay for it, and so since my mom had to pay, or my mom did pay for it for me, but since my mom paid it for me, what am I gonna do? Just sit here? I'm gonna take my education seriously, right? I'm gonna go try hard, as they would say. And so yes, I do answer all the questions, do whatever, and I find that to be a lot better than just sitting back and doing whatever, man. Like there's times where I look around class, right, and there's kids like on their phone, whatever. I think they're younger than me for the most part. I feel like when you start college a little bit older, if you actually take some time off, I feel like you generally not only one get a refresher, but two, you're actually more locked in because you actually know what you want to do. I feel like the reason why a lot of like university kids, right, they get back. This might be my conspiracy theory or my thoughts. I think that when kids just go straight to college right after high school, I feel like they just don't really know what they want to do. So they don't really treat classes seriously. They just go for the quote unquote experience. For me personally, I don't care about that stuff. I don't care about the parties, the dorms. I don't care. I just want to lock in my education, get my diploma, get the heck out, get to work, get that bag. Okay, that's all I'm worried about, man. I'm not worried about messing with girls all the time. Like, listen, girls are girls, right? Like, I obviously I like girls, but staying up late, drinking, taking all these drugs, not my. That's not me. So I feel like starting community college now, I just feel more locked in. Anyways, yeah, I mean, freaking math class, just do that. And then my business class, so far, we're just not really doing that much right now. We're just reading chapters and stuff like that. Most of community college, and I think these, I could speak for maybe most college classes, it's just reading a bunch of textbooks. You read a bunch of textbooks, answer questions, answer this, and then you have your homework and then your big assignments here and there. For my business class right now, we don't really have big assignments right now. We're just reading chapters, going over some current events that's going on when it comes to business. Like one thing we are talking about last week is automation, right? Because a lot of new fast food places are opening up automation drive-throughs where basically you don't even have to interact with the human. You just basically pick what you want and you go to the window, you get what you want, and go about your day. I think that's pretty cool, man. And they're talking about how McDonald's is doing it and how Wendy's and Burger King were hopping to it. So that's basically all we're kind of doing in business class. It's pretty easy, man. And then macroeconomics is probably my toughest class, but even then, it's pretty interesting, man. I really like economics so far. Talking about, well, right now we're talking about supply and demand, the demand curve, the quantity demanded, how the demand curve shifts to left or right due to different circumstances. Talking about scarcity and just talking about whole economics in general. I feel like that is just very interesting to me. It really is, man. So that's kind of like my community college experience right now. The only problem I have with community college is just how like some freaking how some homework assignments just take forever, man. Like you have to read all this text, like the textbook that they give you is so freaking long, absolutely so long. Like you have to read this whole thing, right? Then you have to answer some questions, whatever. I get it, you know, to understand the content, but sometimes like a little homework assignment takes me 3 hours because you got to read the entire text and really understand it. So that's kind of one problem I do have with community college. But other than that, I think it is an absolute sweet and just a great experience, man. Like I just feel more locked in. I think it's way better than high school. This might be a hot take. I think it's way better than high school because in high school, right, you have your kids that don't really care, right? You have kids that go to the bathrooms and bro, I'm telling you right now, community college, the one I go to, bathrooms spanking clean. I mean, they're spanking clean. The buildings are beautiful. Like everything, like you could tell they actually care about cleaning up. And also, there's not a bunch of teenagers there. You know, most of the people there are grown adults, like 18-year-old, 19-year-old. There's someone in my class that's like 30 years old, and there's also someone else in my class who has 5 children. Like it's just so diverse as well, which I feel like is better compared to high school because you're actually talking to each other, thinking from a different set of experiences. You know, I feel like that's way better than just thinking with a bunch of teenagers. So this might be a hot take, but I find community college great. In my opinion, it's pretty enjoyable, and the stuff I'm learning I find really cool. You know, and I find it very useful as well. Business studies I feel like is always very useful because everything, if you really think about it, is a business. Like the phone you're watching, you know, it came from a business. Everything came from a business. So I feel like studying business is something that I personally enjoy, and I've always been that type of kid to kind of be like the entrepreneur. I'm not gonna say I was one of those kids that was selling candy during lunch or anything like that. I wasn't like that. I was locked in on my schoolwork, right? But I've always been the type of guy to wanting to know more about business, wanting to know more about money, the Federal Reserve, and wanting to know more about economics as well, seeing how things change and how people react to different things. That's always been interesting to me. And so with that in mind as well, I try to tend my options and pick, okay, what's like the best business degree, right? Because there's so much. There's marketing, finance, management, all this type of stuff. But I picked accounting because not only is the accountant language a business, you know, I guess that's some type of saying, but it also provides a pretty good career. So that's kind of the one I'm pursuing. I know the CPA, like I've focused on that right, like later on. Right now, I'm just focused on my coursework. But yeah, community college I think is a great substitution as well. If you've been out of school for like 2-3 years, I definitely recommend going back to community college. Only if you have a plan though. Don't just wing it, go in there and expect it to be all sunshine and rainbows. You got to have a motive. You got to have a why. Because if you have a why and a motive, you're going to naturally put that effort in to actually get your coursework done. And that's what kind of I've been doing, man. I'm so glad I took a 2 years off of school because I feel like I wouldn't be as locked in. I feel like I wouldn't really care about anything and I'll just wing it by, you know. So I'm glad I'm going back to community college. I'm glad I'm going back to school. It's pretty enjoyable for the most part. And as of right now, you know, it's still 3 weeks in. Who knows? Maybe this could age like milk come test time, whatever. My first like exam is my economics class, and that's like 2-3 weeks from now. So yeah, I got to get locked in for that. But so far, everything seems pretty easy, pretty chill. Just a lot of memorization. Just learning about, again, just business stuff like that. I find it very useful, and it's just really enjoyable at the end of the day. So that's all I really have for you guys today, man, when it comes to my thoughts and my experience so far at community college. Let me know what you guys think, man, about community college down in the comments. Do you guys think it's cool, not cool? Are you in community college? Are you not? Have you been to community college? What's your experience? And definitely let me know, man. It's pretty, I would love to hear what you guys have to say. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed today's video, drop a like, subscribe. It's your boy Daniel, and I am out. Peace.